Hey everybody, I'm live. John Hope Bryant. We're coming back with a fierceness for this, the second part of the 2017 series. 38 million views plus over 400,000 followers, 420,000 followers to the page. Yay! John Hope Bryant, founder, chairman, CEO of Operation Hope, America's first nonprofit social investment bank for the poor, the underclass, the struggling class, folks with too much month at the end of their money, people like you and me. Hey, Sergio Ward, trying to get me to run for president still. You're consistent if nothing else. Hey, how you doing? I'm also CEO, hey, Chibuzo. I'm also CEO of Bryant Group Companies, Hassan, and the Promise Homes Company, JL. I'll wear your bracelet. I'm about to leave the house. I'll wear your bracelet later. Hey, Derek Smart. Carnita, I'm sorry about that. Run about 40 companies, built it from scratch. And the memo, I got my copy. Can I get some love here? The memo comes out the 18th, so Monday next. Can I get some love? The memo, I'm so excited about this book, endorsed by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Ambassador Andrew Young, the CEO of MasterCard, Quincy Jones, Ariana Huffington, CEO of Delta, CEO of SunTrust, Roland Martin here. In fact, Lisa Borders of the WNBA. Roland Martin actually says there's two books that black folks need to own. And he says there are two books that every black person in America must own and read. The book's for everybody, by the way. But the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s Chaos or Community and John Hope Bryant's The Memo. Thank you, Roland. So you can order your copy online. Thank you, Dwan Smith. Hey, Jamie. I'm about to tell you where you can pick up a copy. You can order it online on Amazon, pre-order it. Make sure that we have a big launch on September 18th. I'll be on that week I'll be on the Steve Harvey show. I'll also be on the Dwayne Smith, I Need Mine. Thank you, brother. Give it his presence. I'll be on the Steve Harvey show and the Roland Martin show that week. Hey, Tasha. You can get the audio version, by the way, right now on iTunes. I'm actually reading it myself. So there you go. The memo. It almost looks like me. And there are already reviews of it from some folks who are early reviewers on Amazon. Now, before I get into this topic, for those who want to be right on the point to buy the book and to help to hit the numbers, I think it's Costco. Yeah, Costco has bought a bunch of books and they're putting it in there. Hey, Gwen. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. Hey, Parmy. They put it in some of their stores. They want to see how it does, and if it does well, they're going to buy it. Hey, Zena. How you doing? Thank you. I know you and your coworkers are going to get it. They want to see how it does. They're going to get a bunch more. So here's the stores for Costco that we need to just blitz, okay, on the 18th. The Atlanta store, the Kennesaw store in Georgia, the Baltimore, Maryland store, the Hoover, Alabama store, the Beaufort, Georgia store, Shelby Township, Michigan store, Auburn Hills, Michigan store, Oak Brooks, Illinois store. This is all Costco's. Madison Heights, Michigan, I think. Michigan. Roseville, Michigan. Marina Del Rey, California. Interesting. Okay. Marina Del Rey, California. Atlanta, Georgia. So two stores here. Orland Park, Illinois. Hawthorne, California. Alpharetta, Georgia. This is a really impressive list. Brighton, Michigan. Bloomfield, Michigan. Ringo, Georgia. Don't even know what it is. Atlanta, Georgia. So there's 3 stores in Atlanta and Washington, D.C. Go to those Costco stores and you'll get the copy of the book on the 18th. So they will then go back and order a bunch more. We're about to show some support, Zena says. Montgomery, Alabama, Parmy. I don't see that list on the list, but I know that I think it's Barnes & Noble, I think it is. The big retailer that's still left, they have them, and I think Walmart has them. But you can get them online also. The numbers, wherever you buy it, it still hits, still applies toward bestseller. Okay, let me get into this topic today because I know you have a busy day. Living fast and making stupid. Living fast, hey Jasmine, hey Trey Denton. Living fast, making stupid moves. So one of my dear friends, and I don't want to say so much so that the person actually knows I'm talking about them, I don't want to embarrass them. One of my dear friends' I went to go see when I was in LA 2 weeks ago. Is there a location in Illinois, Chantel? Yes, there are. Go back to just replay the video on replay, and you'll see I went through the list of Costco locations in Illinois that will have the book. Or just go to the memo page for the book on Facebook and like the page, and you'll see all the locations there later today. So we had this barber that had the same situation as me growing up 20 years ago. In fact, me and this barber that cut my hair, nice guy, really nice guy, we own the same condo. We live in the same modest condo complex in LA. And we, same mortgage, same situation. I decided to keep my condo. He decided to sell his condo, and he bought a bigger house. Took on some more debt. Was in the middle of the run up of all the property value increases. He bought, I think, in Baldwin Hills. His value went up some more. This guy then went and he bought a bigger house, got more, debt. Then he pulled money out of that house to buy another house. Now, he was no financial literacy training whatsoever. Pulled money out of that house. So even a clock is right twice a day, okay? Even a clock is right twice a day. You'll figure that out later. And he pulled money out of his house, more debt now, then went and bought another house as a speculative investment, which I do admire, but with no training. Unfortunately, that house did well. He sold that house and made $85,000. Now, what I say unfortunately is that gave him false confidence. And there's nothing worse than high confidence, low self-esteem, and power, okay, and no knowledge. So, hey, Idaho, thank you. So he takes the $85,000 as profit. He goes, he gets success drunk. The guy buys 3 more homes on leverage with the money he just made from the first home and the debt equity line from his first home with no financial literacy training, buys 3 homes, which is admirable, and tries to manage rehab on 3 homes at the same time, but then goes by, I make sure I'm saying this all giving you all the information. He goes and buys a Bentley and a Mercedes, as in Mercy D's Payments. Mercy D's Payments. Hey, Trey Denton, you need our help badly. Trey, go to operationhope.org, find a location near you, find a Hope Inside location. That's right, Demetrius. A broke clock is right twice a day. Very good. Thanks for correcting me. Trey, go to an Operation Hope Open Side location near you. We have 100 open now. Services are free, F-R-E-E, free, and go take your life back. Tell them I sent you. Thank you, Demetrius. Yeah, a broke clock, by the way, a broke clock is right twice a day. So this guy goes and buys a Bentley and a Mercedes, as in Mercy D's Payments. and the guy implodes. The other 3 properties don't sell. He didn't finish them. He was over budget, overwhelmed, underestimated the challenge, was financially illiterate, didn't know what he was doing, got taken by brokers, got taken by bankers, not bankers, but banksters, which are real estate brokers who don't mean you any good, got taken by mortgage lenders who charged him too much interest. He had horrible credit, so he had horrible interest rates, and the whole thing imploded. He had to file bankruptcy, and he lost everything. Hey, Michelle Bryant, thank you for I think she said great launch of the book. Thank you. He lost everything, and now he rents. And after 40 years in the hair care business, cutting hair, he cannot retire. So here we are. Hey, Stefan. Here we are, 2 parallel paths. I'm no better than him. Same type of parents, same neighborhood. We're both African Americans, so racism didn't do it. All right. I made different choices. I stayed in that modest condominium. Yes, Tasha, exactly. I stayed in that modest condominium and paid my mortgage down. Got a renter in there. And I have a renter in there now. In fact, I still own that condo all these years later, and I have a renter in there who don't pay his rent on time. I pay a renter in there and to pay off my mortgage. And the property keeps going up in value, and my debt keeps going down, and that's how you build wealth. Let me repeat what I just said. Buy, rehab, rent, and hold. Write that down. Buy, rehab, rent, and hold. And for those who said, and live within your means, James McDuffie, exactly. For those who say, well, John, I can't afford to buy. See, that's giving up before you try. That's just not true. You go to Detroit, They'll give you properties dang near. You can buy a property in Detroit for $1,000 or $2,000, and I'm not kidding. Michael Felder, just closing my first home. Boom. Chantel, buy, rehab, and rent. Exactly. Ida, buy, rent, rehab, and hold. That's right. You remember our last video, Ida. Buy, rehab, and rent. Buy, rehab, and hold. I never sell. I just keep accumulating because they aren't growing any more land. You can buy property in Atlanta for $30,000. Yes, that's right, Dwayne Smith. Live below your means. If your outflow exceeds your inflow, then your overhead will be your downfall. Let me see here. Shonisha, do I have locations near Atlanta? I have locations in Atlanta, where our anchor location is at Ebenezer Church. Right across, right at Ebenezer Church, the Martin Luther King Senior Community Empowerment Complex. We have our Hope Inside location there. Go there and tell them I sent you. There are Hope Insides here at SunTrust, Hope Insides, I think, with Synovus Bank and Regions Bank in this area. We're also at Atlanta Police Department. We're going to be at Atlanta Public Schools helping the teachers. So there are locations all around here. Just go to operationhope.org and find your location. By the way, if you're not a member of Operation Hope, you can be a member for as little as $25. You can make give us $25,000. I'll take that too. For as little as $25 a year, you can become a member of Operation Hope and support our movement of civil rights. I was the first member. I was the first donor. You don't have to give a lot of money. I like people who give a lot of money, but I also like people who donate $10 because you can, and so that you realize, you appreciate what we're doing to help others. So I bought this place, which was sometimes a pain in the rear end, and I rented it out, and today somebody else pays my mortgage, but I never gave it up, and now it goes up in value. This guy bought the place, got tired, listened to people in his ear, and ended up selling the place for a few bucks, but lost out on the long-term appreciation potential. Left that, went and bought another place in Bubbly Hills for black folks, which is Baldwin Hills, which was once the wealthiest neighborhood. Hey, Jennifer Mangon, we love Operation Hope members. That's exactly. Jennifer helps us with membership at Operation Hope, and you should hit her up if you want to join. She'll get you an autographed book. He was profiling. He was trying to, be with the Joneses, and he took an equity line up on that new home that had more debt on it. I'm repeating the story because I talk fast. And he bought a home, which was an investment house, investment property, which was smart, and flipped it and made $85,000. He really should have stopped there, taking that money, invested it in the stock market, taking that money, invested it in a long-term rental, and just stopped there. Or taking part of that money and put it in a business. But then he got greedy and went and got him. So the only place where success comes before the word work is in the dictionary because it's alphabetical. I'll repeat that. The only place where, I crack myself up sometimes, the only place where the word success comes before the word work is in the dictionary because it's alphabetical. Every place else, work comes first. So if your outflow exceeds your inflow, your overhead will be your downfall, and when you have too much money into your money, you're gonna go broke. It's not busyness, it's business. And this guy lost the vision of what he was trying to do. And decided he wanted the pleasure first, so he went and, even before his success, with a little taste of his success, went and got him a Bentley. The car was cost more than his house he was in, and then got him a Mercedes as if the guy needed two cars at the same time, Mercedes payments, and then bought 3 more houses because he thought that it was guaranteed that he's going to make $85,000 again times 3, and he realizes now he asked me when I was in his barber chair, man, can you put me into a financial literacy course? And I'm like, man, why didn't you ask me that? If you had asked me about our financial literacy coursework, our small business training, our entrepreneurship training, if you had asked me about that, when this happened 20 years ago, you'd be rolling out. You'd own the salon, not work in the salon. You'd own the business. You would be owning the lake, not trying to get some fish out of the lake. And you would not be wondering why you're renting an apartment that somebody else owns and working to pay your bills with week-to-week clients, cutting hair, and after 40 years have nothing to show for it, you cannot retire. You've got to work. And there's nothing wrong with work, and I'm not jamming his brother up. I'm just saying sometimes it's not racism, folks. Sometimes it's not bias. Sometimes it's not somebody trying to separate you from your money. Sometimes it's not somebody trying to jam you up. Sometimes it's just us. We just make bad decisions because we never got the memo. So I want you to go get the memo. I break it down here real simply. And if you want to see an early review of this book, go to Amazon. The first review on there, there's only 2 reviews there because the book's not out yet. It was some early reviewers. And they break down, why this book is a quick, easy, transformational read. One of my employees, one of our friends, Jennifer, said it was a neck snapper. And she works for me. And she thought it was pretty good. A couple of my other employees who read an early edition thought it was pretty good. I think this is my best writing. I'm hoping that it's not just a good book, it's a transformational book. I'm going to break the book down into little stories and vignettes and lessons. So let me know as you read the book the things you want me to talk about. Did you guys enjoy this today? Let me know that. Awesome book. Thank you. I hope you got the message from this story, which is that financial literacy is the new civil rights issue of our generation. To quote Ambassador Andrew Young, our global spokesman at Operation Hope, okay, you guys did like it, thank you. To quote Ambassador Andrew Young, Dr. King's right arm in the civil rights movement, and the guy who was on the balcony when Dr. King was assassinated. My videos won't share. I don't understand that, Dwayne. Maybe your system, man. You may have to reset your system. Ambassador Andrew Young said, to live in a system of free enterprise and not to understand the rules of free enterprise must be the very definition of slavery. I'm going to repeat that. To live in a system of free enterprise, Michelle Bryant, information, transformation, change. There you go. To live in a system of free enterprise and not to understand the rules of free enterprise must be the very definition of slavery. I'm talking to everybody on this channel. I'm talking to everybody with this book. But here's where, Robert Lee, where our operation is located. You got to go to operational.org to find our locations. We're opening a location a week, so I can't tell you every location, but they're all over the country and growing. We have 500 orders for locations, and we're opening them every week, every other week. What was the point I was trying to make? See, you can see I have no notes. I'm just talking to you, so you know it's authentic. I think I was trying to suggest to you that that this whole system that we live in is really based on money. And if you really want to understand the plight of black folks, again, my work is about everybody, but when Mason has a headache, black folks got pneumonia, but we're all sick, right? If you want to understand black folks' plight, you don't need to go to police brutality, you don't need to go to racism, you don't need to go to the Klan. John, I love you too, Zena, thank you. You don't need to go to your idiot employers or politicians. Here's the one thing that has doomed black folks that we can change. Here it is. Because of the Freedmen's Bank failure in 1865, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, a bank chartered to teach free slaves about money, and that bank failed after Lincoln was assassinated. Essentially, there's 35 million black people who never got a class on capitalism. Boom, drop the mic. That's it. You can take all of your problems in our neighborhood. The crime is for money. The prostitution, the lady's doing it, is doing it for money. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, ooh, let me be a prostitute. No one wants to hang around your stanky 350-pound rear end with body odor and buck teeth and bad attitude. She's doing it for money. Get that clear and straight in your brain. Okay, you guys like that. If you robbing somebody, you're doing it for money. You're in a gang, you're stealing, you're doing it for money. You're a drug dealer, you're doing it for money. The urban pharmaceuticals business. Murder, that's primarily for money. Most domestic abuse in households, it's arguments over money. Why do police officers get hurt the most on domestic abuse calls, which are about money? Why aren't black kids dropping out of college? It's not academics, it's money. They can't pay the tuition. Why are families arguing and breaking up? It's about money. Why are folks banging and slanging? Because they can't get jobs, because that's about money. They don't understand how to create a job. You can't get one. Don't know how to become an entrepreneur or a small business owner. And if you have a felony, you really have almost no choice than to become an entrepreneur. No one's going to, I'm going to tell you what no one will tell you. No one's going to hire you at IBM. They're not going to hire you at Apple. They're not going to hire you at Google. Not because you're not Chantel says true. Not because you're not a good person. No one's moralizing you. They're not going to hire you, one, because there's no relationship capital. We'll cover that in another video. But two, they're going to hire you because you have a criminal record as a felon. But you can go create your own IBM. You can go create your own Google. You can go create your own small business. And by the way, if you have a 700 credit score, check this out. You have a 700 credit score and you have a felony, you can still get a loan to start your own business. Boom. Real talk, Norman says. Exactly. I don't know if you knew that. I don't want to have a felony. But if you give me a choice between, Derek Smart says, real talk. You give me a choice between having a felony and paying my debt to society. Entrepreneurship is power, exactly, Jennifer. A felony and paying my debt to society. It's all about economics. That's right, Zena. Or a 700 credit score. Or a 500 credit score. Okay, to make this right. I'd say, give me the felony. I'll pay my debt to society. I'm going to turn around here and get my credit score up to 650, 700. And I'm still, thank you, Jason, you were on point. I'm still going to get my liberty. I'm still going to get my freedom. I'm still going to be able to do what I want, when I want, however I want, because as somebody just said, credit scores don't discriminate. My mother has an 840 credit score. The computer don't ask you what your race is. The computer models don't care what color you are. And whether you're white, black, red, brown, or yellow, everybody wants to see some more green. So if we can get the credit score up to 700 in our neighborhoods, the lights come on in urban America and in rural America. All of a sudden, you got the jobs you need. All of a sudden, your Folgers coffee is replaced by Starbucks stores. All of a sudden, those raggedy grocery stores selling 3-week-old bread is replaced by Whole Foods. All of a sudden, you rolling with upscale stores and good customer service and quality restaurants, because they know there's a clientele there that can support it, and that then creates more jobs because those places hire people, which means all the young people have some place to work, and so now you got a tax base because you have more property sales tax, property tax revenue, and more sales tax, which then puts more money in the local government, which then pays for more fire trucks and police and infrastructure and lights and safety, which makes you more safe as you are shopping in those places, and that creates more jobs, and all boats rise. I'm telling you, folks, this stuff is solvable, and all we got to do is just buckle down, join one of these civil rights clubs in a neighborhood near you that's on this. Anise says, that's right, John. On this page, hey, Dwayne, boom, right? And join one of these clubs and get busy with our tools. This open source software about changing your life. I don't charge you for the software. It's free to empower your life and change your community. Don't wait for the president. He ain't gonna help you. Don't wait for the governor, the mayor. Don't wait for the city council person. We have put too much power. All due respect to politicians. I'm not jamming up politicians. We need them. But the movement changed from the 20th century was about race and the color line, and the way you dealt with race and the color line was to have the right to vote, so that you had the power of the vote in the ballot box, so you can get the idiots out of office and change public policy. That was the 20th century, from South Africa to India to Ireland to America. It was the same deal. It was race-based discrimination that was solved through the ballot box and the right to vote. But we've gone from the 20th century and race and the color line to the 21st century of class and poverty, but we've not changed our tools. We've not changed our mindset. We've not changed the way we operate or our strategy. So now you've gone from civil rights in the streets to civil rights in the suites. Don't get me preaching here. But we still don't have the class and financial literacy. We still don't have the memo. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your cousin Boo-Boo. We just never got the memo. Go get the memo. Go to your local Costco, get the memo from the local store. I gave the list. I'll put it on the memo page and this page later today. Go on Amazon. Make sure you buy it online, or go to iTunes and get your copy. I'm going to keep breaking it down. A. Ricardo says, preach, and keep breaking down the tools here. We need to change our mindsets. That's right, Zena. We need to solve our poverty. Hey, Denise White, Ross, I love you. We need to solve, Anthony says, preach. We need to solve our poverty from the neck up. You cannot solve your poverty from the shoulders down. All this ain't going to get you nowhere but in jail or in trouble. I need you to be smarter than your adversary, not just bigger than your adversary. I'm not going to curse you out. No. I'm not going to argue with you, because to argue with a fool proves there are two. I'm going to hit you with my American Express black card and knock you out. You know the greatest revenge? Success and living well. I'm out. Peace.